Unfortunately, I'm afraid that some of those who claim to be red might be a little pink may try to upset that. I know that sounds offensive, but your gun rights are the litmus test to what your elected officials think your rights are. I think the Bill of Rights is absolute. I think the intenders wrote them to be absolute. They're like a special section of a contract, with the Constitution being that contract. And things like Congress shall make no law and shall not be infringed are absolute statements, and they shouldn't be infringed upon. And so I had a bill last year. I didn't run it because Senator Hensley and I were carrying it, and Joey told me he was going to have some trouble getting it through. And we needed to tweak a couple things. But it covers that intent to go armed. It covers that stupid 1989 Democrat law that says it's illegal for you to carry a long gun. Because we will not have constitutional carry in the state of Tennessee until it is no longer a felony for you to carry a long gun. I have no desire to carry my AR-15 into downtown Jonesboro. But God has said, and my Constitution affirms that I have a right to do that. We should oppose that. So I hope you'll let your voices be heard, especially the governor's office and the attorney general. Because I talked to one of my friends just yesterday, and there's a push to appeal the decision that comes from the court, which would mean that they would ask for a stay, which would mean it would continue to be a felony for you to intend to go armed. Let that sink in. And you know whose money was spent to argue against your rights? Your money. And so if we appeal that, we're going to spend more of your money to argue against your rights. That's an apostasy constitutionally, and we should not tolerate it. I say, shall not be infringed is the law.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak to that?
I would just say, I would vote for that, for Monty's bill as well. It worries me, just the thought of you can't carry with the intent to go on. That's why you carry. We honestly, I guess all of us up here voted for constitutional carry, I'm sure, and I think I co-sponsored and sponsored some of the early, with Ron Ramsey, some of the early bills that allow you to carry concealed, with permits and all that. And I do know, and I think I'm right, Todd and Monty, that we have a bill in Tennessee that says that if you kill someone in self-defense, we're a protected citizen from that. So we've passed some great Second Amendment legislation. But he's right. If they appeal this latest ruling, and one of the things the ruling said was it's okay. We have a law that says you can't carry guns in public parks. My gosh, that's one of the places you want them, because the crooks will stay out of the parks if we do that. If they appeal this bill and win, then it'll turn that around. Right now, without the appeal, you can carry guns in your public parks if you have your permit and you follow the law. Yeah.
Thank you.
We have a supermajority. Why does it feel that way? You've got a supermajority, and we've had it for years. Why haven't you done anything about it?
It's a good question.
I just got it.
He's a freshman. 4 times.
You asking Russ?
I'm asking all of you. I mean, I know the freshmen.
I did want, before we get off, I just wanted to, so in the Senate, I voted in favor of it. I think it was 4-4, so we ended up missing one extra person was out. But I think it was Senator Lowe carried this. Do you remember where it changed a simple word changed from handgun to firearm? So that would have opened that up. And once again, it ended up not passing the judiciary.
Mr. Moderator, if I can, I'll really quickly address this gentleman's question. It's because the governor, with his state employees, lobbies in every office of every legislature, and they come in committees in uniforms, and they lobby against your rights on the block. That is exactly why it's happening. It is because not our sheriffs and not our chiefs, but the lobbyists for the Sheriffs and the Chiefs Association attack your rights every day. They're not allowed in my office. Just this year, I sat, this big bill that I was talking about, there was a whole gaggle of people coming in to try to intimidate me to not carry that bill. I'll just be honest with you. And it was from the Department of Safety, the TBI, and the DA's conference. And they come into my office, and it just so happened that Richard Archie and John Harris were sitting in my office that day. You could ask them.
Wow.
And so the first thing, the young lady who's the lobbyist, or Freudian slip. The legislative director for the Department of Safety, she said, Representative Fritz, I didn't think you were going to have a lobbyist here that wrote this law. I said, ma'am, you stand corrected. I wrote this with somebody else. These two men didn't write it. She said, well, I speak for the governor, and we're philosophically opposed to this legislation. And I stopped her again, politely, and I said, ma'am, you and the governor don't get to be philosophical, you get to be constitutional. And she stands up. I have witnesses, I said this. And I'm not trying to tell you that we have to be tough for your rights. Our Declaration of Independence says, right after life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, it says, and to secure these rights, governments are instituted among men, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed. If I don't stand up for your rights, if Tim don't stand up for your rights, or Rusty, then nobody does. Because those people are coming after them. And so they testify in committees. And she said, Mr. Fritz, you're disrespecting me. I said, no, man, you're just not accustomed to being talked straight to, and they all laugh. So, I tell you this, not to blow any smoke up my kilt, but to tell you, you need to be on your governor and whoever it is now and whoever it's going to be, that you're not going to tolerate your tax dollars being used to lobby against you, and by God, it needs to stop.
Just going to say, the safest places in Tennessee are those places where the good, honest people are allowed to carry their weapons.
Amen.